Sit quietly for a moment and reflect on your own life. Think about the situations that tested you, the moments when you felt cornered, misunderstood, tired, or broken from within. Every human being reaches such moments. Strength is not something reserved for a chosen few. It is a quality that life slowly awakens in all of us through experiences. To be strong in any situation does not mean that nothing should affect you. It means that even when everything affects you, you still choose to stand, to think, and to act with awareness. Most people misunderstand strength. They believe strength means never crying, never feeling hurt, never feeling confused. But real strength is not the absence of emotions. Real strength is emotional maturity. It is the ability to feel deeply without allowing emotions to hijack your behavior. A strong person feels pain but does not become bitter, feels anger but does not become destructive, feels fear but does not become paralyzed. Life will not ask your permission before presenting challenges. Problems will arrive unannounced. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Expectations will break. Strength begins when you stop asking life to be easy and start preparing yourself to be strong. The strongest people are not those with the smoothest journeys, but those who learned how to walk even on rough paths. Many times, situations become heavy, not because of what is happening outside, but because of what is happening inside. The same situation can break one person and build another. The difference lies in interpretation. A strong person asks, what is in my control right now, instead of wasting energy on what is not. When you focus on what you can do, instead of what you cannot change, your mind automatically becomes calmer. One of the greatest strengths you can develop is acceptance. Acceptance does not mean surrendering your efforts. It means surrendering your resistance. When you keep saying, this should not have happened, you remain stuck. When you say this has happened, now what is the best response? You move forward. Resistance drains energy. Acceptance redirects energy. In difficult situations, silence becomes a powerful companion. Not the silence of fear, but the silence of clarity. You do not need to react immediately to everything. A strong person pauses. That pause creates space between stimulus and response. In that space lies wisdom. Many regrets in life are born not from bad intentions, but from instant reactions. Strength is also about choosing battles wisely. Not every disagreement needs your explanation. Not every criticism needs your defense. Not every provocation needs your reply. Sometimes walking away protects your peace more than winning an argument. When you value your inner stability more than external validation, you become unshakable. Let us talk about expectations. Expectations are beautiful when they inspire, but painful when they imprison. When you expect people to behave according to your understanding, you suffer. People act based on their conditioning, their fears, and their limitations. Strong person understands this and reduces emotional dependence. They care deeply but cling lightly. Another pillar of strength is self-trust. When you trust yourself, situations lose their power over you. You may not know how everything will unfold, but you know you will handle it. This confidence does not come from knowing all the answers. It comes from knowing your values. When you are clear about who you want to be, situations cannot confuse you. Many people feel weak because they constantly replay the past or worry about the future. Strength lives in the present moment. When you bring your attention to what you can do now, anxiety reduces. The past cannot be changed and the future cannot be controlled, but the present can be lived consciously. There will be times when you feel alone in your struggle. Understand this deeply. Solitude is not weakness. Sometimes life isolates you so that you can listen to yourself without noise. Growth often happens in quiet seasons. Do not rush to escape discomfort. Sit with it, observe it, and learn from it. Every situation carries a message meant specifically for you. Strength also requires discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. On days when you do not feel strong, your habits carry you forward. Simple disciplines like waking up on time, taking care of your body, controlling your speech, and managing your thoughts build inner stability. A disciplined life creates a strong mind. Let us speak about faith. Faith is not about believing that nothing bad will happen. Faith is believing that even if something bad happens, you will not break. Faith gives you the courage to move forward even when the path is unclear. When situations feel unfair, faith keeps your heart soft and your mind steady. One important lesson life teaches repeatedly is patience. Some situations do not resolve quickly. Some answers take time. Strength is waiting without complaining, trusting without anxiety, and continuing without losing hope. Impatience weakens the mind because it creates unnecessary pressure. Patience strengthens the mind because it teaches endurance. In difficult situations, your inner dialogue becomes extremely important. If you keep telling yourself, "I cannot handle this," your mind will believe it. If you tell yourself, "This is tough, but I will do my best," your mind will support you. Words shape emotions and emotions shape actions. Speak to yourself with respect. Strong people do not pretend to be strong all the time. They allow themselves to rest. Rest is not quitting, it is recovery. When life becomes overwhelming, pause, breathe, and recharge. Even the strongest trees bend during storms. They do not resist the wind, they adapt to it. Another hidden string, she's gratitude. In every situation, even painful ones, there is something to learn and something to be thankful for. Gratitude does not deny pain, it balances it. When you count blessings, your problems lose their heaviness. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. Your environment plays a silent role in your strength. The conversations you engage in, the content you consume, the people you surround yourself with, these shape your mindset. Protect your mental space. Strength is not just built by what you do, but also by what you avoid. There will be moments when you fail despite giving your best. Failure does not make you weak. Avoiding effort does. A strong person fails forward. They extract lessons instead of carrying regrets. They do not allow one chapter to define the whole story. Remember this deeply. Strength is not loud. Strength is calm. Strength is composed. Strength is steady. It does not seek applause. It seeks alignment. When your actions align with your values, you feel strong even in difficult circumstances. Life will continue to test you in different ways. Each situation is shaping you, refining you, preparing you. You may not see it now, but someday you will look back and realize that the moments you thought would break you actually built you. So when life puts you in tough situations, do not ask for an easier life. Ask for a stronger mind, a wiser heart, and a calmer soul. Stay grounded, stay patient, stay aware. No matter what the situation is, remember this truth. You are stronger than the moment, wiser than the problem, and capable of responding with grace. Sit with yourself for a few moments and notice how life has a strange way of testing us when we least expect it. Just when we think we have understood everything, life changes the question. Just when we feel stable, the ground shifts. Strength is not something you suddenly acquire. On a good day, strength is something that is revealed on difficult days. To be strong in any situation means to remain rooted even when everything around you feels uncertain. There is a small story that explains this beautifully. Once a potter was walking with two pots tied to a stick, one on each side of his shoulder. One pot was perfect without a crack, while the other had a small crack and leaked water along the way. Every day the cracked pot felt ashamed. It saw water dripping out and believed it was weak and useless. One day, unable to carry the guilt, it spoke to the potter and apologized for being flawed. The potter smiled gently and said, "Have you noticed the flowers on your side of the path? I knew about your crack, so I planted seeds there. Every day because of you, those flowers are watered." Strength is not about being perfect. Strength is about being useful even with imperfections. Life does not demand perfection. It demands sincerity. Many people break under pressure because they believe they must always be in control. But life teaches humility before it teaches strength. When situations overpower us, they are not trying to humiliate us. They are trying to soften our ego so wisdom can enter. A strong person understands that control is limited, but response is unlimited. You may not control the storm, but you can control how you adjust your sails. Think about a time when things did not go as planned. The mind immediately asks, "Why me?" But strength begins when that question transforms into "What now?" The first question keeps you stuck in pain. The second question moves you into purpose. Life respects movement. When you take responsibility for your response, the situation slowly loses its grip over you. There is another story, very simple yet very powerful. A farmer once lost his horse. Neighbors came and said, "What bad luck." The farmer replied, "Maybe." A few days later, the horse returned with several wild horses. The neighbor said, "What good luck." The farmer replied, "Maybe." Later, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses and broke his leg. Again, the neighbor said, "What bad luck." The farmer said, "Maybe." Soon after, soldiers came to recruit young men for war, but they left the injured son behind. The neighbor said, "What good luck." The farmer smiled and said, "Maybe." Strength is remaining balanced when life swings between gain and loss. When you stop labeling situations too quickly, your mind stays calm. Strong people do not rush to conclusions. They allow life to unfold. They understand that today's pain may protect them tomorrow, and today's comfort may challenge them later. This understanding creates emotional stability. When you stop attaching your peace to outcomes, situations lose their power to shake you. One of the biggest reasons people feel weak is emotional exhaustion. They carry yesterday's pain into today and tomorrow's fear into the present. Strength is learning how to travel light. You do not have to carry every memory, every regret, every insult. Some experiences are meant to teach, not to be stored. When you release emotional baggage, you create space for clarity. Silence plays a huge role in strength. Not silence imposed by fear, but silence chosen with awareness. A wise person once said that words spoken in anger cannot be taken back, but silence spoken in wisdom protects dignity. In challenging situations, the strongest response is often calm observation. When you do not react immediately, you allow intelligence to replace impulse. There is a story of a monk who was insulted repeatedly by an angry man. One day, after hours of abuse, the man stopped and asked, "Why don't you react?" The monk replied, "If someone brings you a gift and you refuse to accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The man said, "The one who brought it." The monk smiled and said, "Exactly. Strength is not absorbing negativity that does not belong to you." To be strong in any situation, you must learn to separate facts from emotions. Facts are what happened. Emotions are how you feel about what happened. When you mix the two, situations feel heavier than they are. A strong person acknowledges emotions, but does not allow them to distort reality. They feel sadness without becoming hopeless, feel anger without becoming cruel. Discipline also strengthens the mind. When life feels chaotic, routines become anchors. Simple habits like waking up with intention, eating consciously, exercising restraint in speech, and maintaining order in daily life create inner stability. When your external life has rhythm, your internal life finds balance. Let us talk about expectations again, because they silently weaken us. We expect people to understand us, appreciate us, and reciprocate our efforts. When they don't, we feel hurt. Strength comes when you give your best without demanding a return. This does not mean allowing disrespect. It means acting from values rather than validation. When your happiness depends on others' behavior, you give them control over your emotional state. There is a story of a king who placed a large rock in the middle of a road and hid nearby to see what people would do. Many wealthy merchants and officials passed by, complained, and walked around it. Finally, a poor farmer came, struggled, pushed the rock aside, and found a bag of gold underneath, with a note from the king saying, "This reward is for the one who removes obstacles instead of complaining." Strength is taking responsibility where others give excuses. Faith plays a silent but powerful role in strength. Faith does not eliminate problems. It gives meaning to problems. When you trust that life is shaping you, not punishing you, your heart stays open. Even when answers are delayed, faith keeps you grounded. Sometimes strength means standing alone. When you choose integrity over popularity, growth over comfort, silence over drama, you may feel isolated. But remember, loneliness and aloneness are different. Loneliness is emptiness. Aloneness is fullness. Strong people are comfortable with their own company because they have made peace with themselves. Another story speaks deeply about inner strength. A butterfly struggles to come out of its cocoon. A man, thinking he was helping, cut the cocoon open. The butterfly emerged but could not fly. The struggle was necessary to strengthen its wings. Similarly, life's difficulties are not obstacles. They are preparations. When you interfere with growth by avoiding struggle, strength cannot develop. Strong people do not curse their challenges. They respect them. They know that strength is built in resistance, not in comfort. When everything is easy, the mind becomes lazy. When things are difficult, the mind becomes sharp. Gratitude also strengthens you emotionally. When you focus only on what is missing, your energy drops. When you acknowledge what you have, your energy rises. Gratitude does not deny pain. It balances it. It reminds you that even in darkness, some light exists. There will be days when you feel tired of being strong. On those days, remember that rest is part of strength. Even warriors sharpen their swords and heal their wounds. Taking a pause does not mean giving up. It means preparing to continue. Your inner dialogue determines your strength. When you tell yourself, "I am helpless," you surrender power. When you say, "I will handle this," step by step, you reclaim it. Speak to yourself as you would speak to someone you deeply care about. To be strong in any situation is to trust your ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, but you are flexible. Situations change, but values remain. When you anchor yourself in honesty, patience, compassion, and courage, no situation can defeat you. One day, you will look back at the moments that nearly broke you and realize they shaped your character, deepened your understanding, and strengthened your spirit.